Zach Wingfield is a creative producer and visionary filmmaker based out of Seattle, Washington. With over 42,000 YouTube subscribers to his channel ZWING Films, Zach has built a platform that's allowed him to work with some of the most prestigious car brands around the world. From filming a Ferrari crashing into a wall in Dubai to hosting the first ever ZWING rally from Seattle to Seaside, Oregon, Zach's #1 goal has been to bring car enthusiasts together all over the world. But building an authentic lifestyle car brand in Seattle from scratch doesn't come without struggle. Sit back and enjoy my interview with Zach Wingfield as he shares stories from his world travels in the car industry and some of the most important lessons he's learned about being an aspiring entrepreneur.
Okay, something that's really cool for me lately, which I feel like I'm really have really stooped down to a new level to have to go back to this, but that supercar rally took a lot out of me. We had a sponsor that was supposed to pay for the track, and they backed out last minute, and so that was $10,000 out of pocket for 4 hours of track time.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, here's my credit card. Fuck my life up. And whatever for my guys, right?
Oh, gosh.
And that comes down to being a good event organizer.
Yeah.
Or not.
Welcome to Rise Seattle Podcast, a podcast about Seattle, the people, their stories, and Seattle's future. Here's your host, Tyler Davis Jones. Zach, man, thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so let's just talk a little bit about who Zach is. Where do you live? And where are you from originally?
So, I live in Capitol Hill. I was a military kid. So,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
we started in Texas, went to North Carolina, Germany, Georgia, Arizona, Washington, back to Arizona, back to Washington, and we moved in between a bunch of different houses within these states too.
Dang.
And then I went to Seattle, then London, Australia, then back to Bellevue, and then back over to Seattle.
Wow. And what kept you in Seattle? I mean, obviously, Seattle's just amazing, but yeah, what was the reason you stayed?
Part of it is that I kind of like that my industry is in LA and I'm up here. And, which I think you could definitely argue that because the car industry is not really in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But, it kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but as far as working from client to client, if you're in LA, you're just in that cesspool with a bunch of other filmmakers in this saturated industry, and it's a little bit, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, I think there's a differentiation. For the longest time, I didn't like that I was from the South, right? And what I realized was that's actually one of the reasons people like me a little bit more. Like, it's different. My personality's different. I'm a nice guy. I say thank you and yes ma'am and stuff like that. And I think that there is differentiation. Like, you're not just another guy in LA in the car scene. Like,
Yeah.
you're in Seattle. It is different. And you're actually known as that, which is pretty cool. So let's talk about that a little bit more. So what is your industry? What do you do? What's your thing?
So I do everything cars.
Okay.
So
Is that on your business card?
no.
Everything car guy? Yeah.
But from hosting a supercar rally to building a $3,000 streetcar, to building a crazy drift car and making organic YouTube content involving these cars and involving events. As a film producer, I film commercials creating a lifestyle around a brand, usually car related.
Got it.
And we travel around and go from country to country, state to state, and we do a lot of event filmmaking. We do a lot of commercial product videos, and
Great, man. That we first met, I think it was 2013. I met you in Olympia at an event, and you're like, "Hey man, get in my car. Let's go grab some food or something," and took me on the craziest ride of my life. Literally, had never experienced anything
I don't
like
remember
it.
this.
Yeah, no, it's great. You're like doing, donuts in like a main intersection or something, just something insane.
Is that in a blue Subaru?
It was this blue Subi that you're driving, and I'm like, this guy's insane and amazing, and this is so much fun. And of course, I got out of the car and I'm like, I'm never doing that again. That was crazy. So you have this passion for driving. You're good at what you do. Let's go back to the story of when did you begin to love cars? Have you always loved cars? Were you a little kid that was like, cars, and just constantly driving cars around? What started this passion?
There is a video of my baby brother who had just come back home from the hospital, and I had a little red toy car, and I was using his body as a racetrack, going up and down with it. That has nothing to do with my passion for cars, but
yeah, but that's like a thing, because this is
that would be good, like B-roll if we ever made a documentary
about
my company.
That's great.
I've always loved cars.
Sure.
Anyway, no. So when I was 13, I went to a Subaru dealership. Subaru was like my passion for cars. It was all things Subaru. I wanted to get a tattoo of the logo on my forearm.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't.
I am too. And I showed up to a dealership in Tacoma, and they had the World Rally cross cars like up on ramps in front of the dealership, and
the XRC, or what is that? The
SRT.
SRT.
Well,
okay.
So the car itself is a
I know nothing of cars, so just had
that's okay.
Apologies for anyone listening to this.
It was a WRX STI,
okay,
which is part of the SRT USA,
okay,
which is like Subaru Rally Team of America. And they had this ridiculous livery, and a livery is vinyl, so it's like crazy stickers all over the car, and I just was like blown away by it. And I went inside and I asked like a salesman for a calendar, because they were giving them out for free. And when I came home, I ripped out all the pages and I like taped them to my wall. And
I love it.
I remember the brake calipers was the coolest thing, because it's this big shiny painted, and I just had never seen anything like it. So that's kind of what